Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Chance, and today I'm going to be doing a review and playthrough of Food Chain Island. So Food Chain Island is a small little solo game that comes with a total of 18 cards. Now 16 of those are going to be put out on a grid on the table, and 2 of them are just special ability cards. And this is a overall pretty abstract little positioning puzzle where the whole concept of the game is based on that joke. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Hilarious, right? But that's really the main idea behind Food Chain Island. We're gonna have animals numbered 0 to 15, and as we go up in the higher numbers, we're gonna get larger and larger animals, and essentially those bigger animals are gonna eat the smaller animals in this game. And our goal is to get our island reduced down to just 3 animals. Now, whether or not that's good for the ecosystem, that's for another day. Today we're just going to try to get our animals fed, and some of them are going to have to perish in the process. Okay, with that being said, I think we should just dive right into this playthrough, because this is just, it's a quick, light, somewhat crunchy little abstract game. So let me give you an idea of what you're getting in for. Okay, so right here I have the game set up. I have my 4x4 grid of the animal cards. Now, this grid right here is not considered limited. Essentially, I can go beyond the bounds of this grid. I need to consider it infinite in the horizontal and vertical space. Adjacency is on the orthogonals, not on the diagonals. And finally, I'll mention that this is kind of the base setup here. There's actually some advanced modes where you can do different grid placements to really challenge yourself. And as you get better at this game, I think that's a really cool thing where you can kind of get a little more replayability out of it with those advanced modes. Now, the way this game is going to work is that I can move animals 1 space. And if they move over, or they eat an animal, they basically stack on top of that animal. And the way the eating works is that animals of a higher value can eat animals of a lower value, but only within a certain range. They can only eat values 3 lower than them. So like the lynx up here is number 10. It can only eat the 9, 8, and the 7. And it's printed right on the card, so you don't even in the rule book or anything, you just know that the lynx can only eat the 9, 8, and the 7. The 6 is a bat. That's a little too small for a lynx. The lynx doesn't want a bat. So you have to kind of work out how you're going to organize these cards or position these cards. So you're setting up the next animal to be able to eat the next animal in the line, and you are just building those chains by getting those animals positioned properly. Now, the other thing in this is that anytime an animal eats, you have to activate the predator's ability. So each card in this game has a different ability associated with it, like the rat up here in the corner, the number 5 card. So when the rat eats, I have to move 1 animal 2 spaces. So it doesn't matter which animal, I just have to move 1 animal 2 spaces. And that is a requirement. I cannot choose to not do that. So anytime that a predator eats, I must activate that ability. Most of the time, those abilities, I'm trying to figure out how to chain those together to get the animals positioned properly and to be able to eat again, basically. Now, other times it can be a bit problematic because, like, depending on how the positioning comes out, maybe I don't want to activate that ability of that animal that's set up to eat in a convenient way, but that ability would kind of destroy the positioning on my board. Now, there are some ways to kind of get out of some of those challenging positions, and that's going to be the 2 sea animal cards. So I have 2 one-time use abilities with the sea animals, where the whale just says I get to move 1 animal to any other space. And then the other one is the shark, which is move an animal 1 space to eat an adjacent animal of any lower value. So it doesn't have to be in that range of 3 anymore. The shark's just gonna gobble up whatever it can, as long as it's smaller than it, right? So with that being said, I think we are ready to get started with this game. And first thing I like to do is just kind of take in the board state. See where my high and low cards are. So I got the polar bear at 15 right next to the plant, which is my 0 card. Those are not going to be able to eat each other anytime soon, so that's going to be a bit of a problem for me. Next up, I like to see what I might be able to do, like straight out the gate here. Like I have the ant and the spider next to each other, which is the 1 and the 2. I have the ant next to the plant, so that's a good position there. Then I have bat next to the lizard, so I've got some options. And the raccoon next to the bat's really good too. I think that might be pretty good start. So I actually think I'm going to do this, where I'm going to. Yeah, we're gonna do the raccoon. So, and look at this art. So this raccoon here, number 8 card is the raccoon. But you can actually see on the card, it actually has the snake on here. We got the raccoon making the snake into a little kebab. So each card does this, where the curd animal, the predator, has the prey card right below it, also in that art, which I think is really cool in this game. Now the raccoon's really cool because its ability is next turn, if a predator eats prey valued exactly 1 less, I get to discard any 1 on-stacked animal. So this is going to help me kind of clear the board a little bit without needing that animal to eat. So that actually is going to be really good for me. I just need to figure out what I want to have eat in this case. I think I'm going to do the ant to the plant, because that's a pretty good one, getting that 0 out of the way, and that was a value of 1 less, so that's a 1 to a 0, which means the raccoon's ability is going to activate, and I can get rid of a card. And this polar bear right here, the number 15, he's kind of in a bad spot right now, but so is this fox at number 9. That's also not looking good. The polar bear is actually kind of close to the lion, but this number 9 is nowhere near anything. So I'm actually thinking I want to get rid of this number 9 because it's going to be a little bit challenging to get this one into any type of convenient space. Unless I get this to eat, but yeah, I'm going to get rid of the 9. We're going to get rid of the fox. It could be dangerous. I don't like getting rid of a mid-level card, but we'll see how this plays out. So that was the raccoon's ability activating. Now I have the ant, which says I must move 1 animal 1 to 3 spaces. So with this one, I think I'm going to move the spider over 1 because that will set him up to eat the ant. And before I do that, let's do this. Okay, let's do the must move 2 spaces to eat. I think I'm going to take the spider and we're going to eat the ant. And this one says I must move 2 animals 1 space each. I think I'm going to move the mouse down 1, and I will move the lion over 1, because I think that's going to set up a nice chain right here. Ooh, actually, you know what? The lion's going to go up 1. There we go. Okay, so now I have the tiger up here, the 12. I'm actually going to take the 12, and we're going to go here. That's not going to be good enough. I'm in 13. I could do 14 equal 1 less. Okay, let's do the lion. So the lion's gonna go here. And this one says, so the lion is eating the gator. So now I have, next turn, the predator must eat prey valued exactly 1 less. So I don't have a choice. I have to do at least, or exactly 1 less. And I'm thinking that I want to do, see, it gets challenging really fast. Like the difficulty for me, it just kind of, it ramps up, and it's such a nice little game. Like I love it so much. So I'm gonna actually take the rat to eat the lizard, and now I get to move 1 animal 2 spaces. And I think I'm gonna take the snake and move it 2 spaces. So it's gonna go 2 to the right here. And that one was 1 less, so it met the criteria of the lion card that I played, and I did the rat ability. So now we're up to the next animal, and for the next one, I think I want to do, let's do the 12 over the 11. So the tiger's going to eat the wolf, and this one says next turn the predator must move 2 spaces to eat. And this is where I'm starting to play things a little bit risky here, but I do want to get that 10 eaten. Although it would be nice if that 10 could eat that 8 first. So let's see if I can figure that out. I need to move 2 spaces to eat. So to move 2 spaces, I could activate an ability. I think it seems like such a bad idea. 1 animal, 1 to 2 spaces. Yeah, I'm going to activate an ability. So I'm going to use my whale. This one allows me to move 1 animal to any other space. So I'm just going to use that card. I'm going to move the mouse up 1 because I still need to do that. Next turn, the predator must move 2 spaces to eat. So I'm going to move the mouse 2 spaces to eat the spider. And now I have move 1 animal 1 to 2 spaces. So I'm going to take the snake, and we're going to go 1, 2. And let's see, we want to do swap the location of 2 cards. This one, next turn, exactly 1 below. See, now we are getting into a tight spot here, because I really want to do, let's do this one. So the raccoon's going to eat the rat. So now I have next turn, the predator eats a prey valued exactly 1 less, discard any 1 on stacked animal, which could actually help me out, but the problem is I now have a positioning problem. So I actually have to use my shark. So the shark says move an animal 1 space to an adjacent animal of any lower value. So I'm going to use my shark to do this one here, and that gets rid of my shark, and that means the raccoon can now eat the snake, which is valued 1 lower, which means I get to discard a card. I'm going to take the polar bear. We're going to get rid of the polar bear now. And next up, we got we have probably 1 more move left, and I don't think there's any way for me to eliminate all these animals. So I'm going to do the lion into the tiger. So the lion, the number 14 is eating the 12, and this one says next turn the predator must eat prey valued exactly 1 less. And here's where I'm now stuck. I only have diagonal adjacency, so I can't actually move anymore. No one else can eat. I did not reach the goal of having 3 or less animals on this island. So yep, that does it for this playthrough. I did not win. Now this is a game that usually if I wasn't doing this on camera, I'd spend a lot more time kind of thinking up my moves. Like this is a crunchy little game. Like it's very simple, it's very easy to learn. The rules are incredibly short. I've taught all of them to you in this playthrough here, and it makes me think, and I really, really enjoy this positioning puzzle. It just kind of tickles that part of my brain that kind of likes these spatial puzzles. So overall, just thoughts on this game, absolutely love it. I love the ease of play. I love being able to pull this out. I love the size of this game. I like being able to just take this places. Like when I'm biking around town, maybe I stop at a brewery and just play this for a bit, or a coffee shop or whatever. If I'm waiting for a friend somewhere, like this is a great one just to have on me. Then the other thing is like the art in this, I find it absolutely adorable. It's cute. I love the fact that each predator has the prey card below it on there, like the predator is eating that prey card on the art, which is really cool. But I don't think there's, like I said, I did this as a playthrough and a review, because if I did only a review, this video would have been, I don't know, 2 minutes. It would have been, it's good. Yeah. I recommend. But this is a Button Shy game, so sometimes when I buy Button Shy games, because I usually order them from the publisher themselves, and I like to kind of mitigate the shipping costs a little bit, because these games are cheap and shipping can be a pretty big portion of the game purchase. So I'm going to give you a couple other recommendations if you do look at doing a Button Shy order. So Food Chain Island, definitely recommend. If you want a nice little light solo game to play that has a decent amount of crunch to it, I love this one. Then next up, I would say Sprawlopolis. This is another one that you can play solo, but I've actually played it a lot 2-player. I've really enjoyed kind of planning out that city at 2-player. Now, there's some other versions of Sprawlopolis out there, like Agropolis and Naturopolis. I have not played either of those, but I think any of the series, as far as I understand, you're going to have a good time with them. They have very similar structures to them, so I think you can't go wrong with any of them. You can technically combine them in some ways, but I had no interest in trying that, so I think you really only need one of them. Next up is In Vino Mort. Now that is a game that I mentioned in my top 10 small games video. I made it as an honorable mention, as kind of like just a fun one that I like to carry around with me as kind of a group party style game, because it is really playing out that scene from Princess Bride where you have poison and non-poison, and essentially players are trying to not drink the poison cards, which is a lot of fun and really easy to teach. So there's 2 others that I am interested in that I have not played yet. So these 2, if you are interested, kind of check out other reviewers. I've heard really good things about them, but there's Circle the Wagons, which looks like a lot of fun, and then finally Rove. Rove's another solo one that I'm very interested in trying. Like I definitely want to pick that game up on my next Button Shy order. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I think this game, Food Chain Island, deserves more attention because it is a really, really nice design. And I wanted to just give you an idea of what you'd be getting in for if you did decide to purchase this with the playthrough. Let me know if you have any questions about this, if you've played this and have any thoughts that you want to share with me, or if you have any other games that you like playing similar to this. I also enjoy another one with that positioning puzzle is the Lucky 7, another small box game. More cards, a little more work to set up, and takes up a little more space, but overall another fantastic solitaire positioning puzzle, which I've done a review of, so I'll have a link somewhere for that up above. So that's going to do it for this review and playthrough. Thank you for watching as always, and of course, please like and subscribe.